Hey, hello. So I am coming here from Baltimore. Has anyone here ever been to Baltimore before? Yeah! Baltimore. It's great. I love it. I'm from there originally. I live there now. It's cool. I will say that there are people who haven't been to Baltimore who will ask me very silly questions about Baltimore. And they'll say things like, Baltimore, is it like The Wire? I'm like, thank you for asking me, a person who would definitely know. Thank you so much. The Wire, of course, is an HBO show set in Baltimore. Not a documentary. About drugs, crime, crooked cops. And you're like, okay, that does happen in Baltimore sometimes, too, a lot of the time. But Baltimore is also like Step Up. Or Step Up to the Streets, depending on your neighborhood. And those movies are also set in Baltimore. I believe the third movie they go to Miami, but the first two are set in Baltimore. And if you don't remember, Step Up is a dance movie where a young white man introduces a young white woman to hip hop. And that's something that happens in Baltimore every day. So it's actually really serious out here. Baltimore's cool. I was walking around in Baltimore just the other day, and I had the audacity to have the thought, wow, this has been a really good walk. No one has yelled at me yet. Immediately, someone took it upon themselves to yell at me. And usually when someone, and I say someone, and it's always men, I don't know why I say someone, when men yell at me, my response most of the time is just to keep walking, because I don't know if they're talking to me, I don't know who they're talking to, I'm not gonna get involved in it. You know, they're like, hey, beautiful. I'm like, who's to say I'm the beautiful one? You know what I mean? There's so many beautiful women out here. It could be anybody. But this time, the man yelled and he said, hey, you got no butt. And I was like, that one's for me. Okay. All right. Thank you for your concern, I suppose. I can assure you we are working on it. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. I really appreciate it. I don't think that I'm depressed, but are there days where I don't take a shower, I just lift up my underwire and shake the crumbs out of my bra? Yes. Is that depression? Please don't answer that. Thank you. I was raised very religious, so for me that meant that before I had sex for the first time, I had never watched porn. So the only time I had ever seen a penis was in a biology textbook, and they are very different when they're not cut in half. So what am I looking at here? Where is your Cowper's gland? Vas deferens. Where is it? Could you point me to? It's cool though. I had a breakup a little while ago, and a breakup is the kind of thing that will make you come back to yourself, reevaluate things. For example, now I have realized that my biggest fear is being alone. Thank you, hold your applause, I'm very brave. My biggest fear is being alone. My second biggest fear is getting possessed by demons. But that used to be number one, so this is progress in some way, because now I'm afraid of something that's real and currently happening. So that's great. And it makes you come back and think about it too. Like, getting possessed by demons would definitely suck, but at least then I wouldn't have to just listen to my thoughts all the time. So it might be nice to get a little company around here. There's like hidden benefits to getting possessed by demons that no one's talking about. Like, for example, I've always wanted to speak another language fluently. And that's like Rosetta Stone to the max. You're gonna be speaking living languages, dead languages, languages we don't speak in this dimension. You could talk to anybody. So that's really cool. I've also wanted to get more athletic. And what's more athletic than doing backflips on the ceiling, you know? I feel like I could really impress a date that way. They'd be like, you know, wow, I wish her head would stop spinning around, but her form is impeccable. This is pretty cool, very flexible, nice. Nice. Yeah, things have been looking up for me though. Things have been looking up for me. I work at a school, and a child recently has been telling me that we are going to move into a house together, which is interesting. On the one hand, I don't really know what he thinks the relationship is going to be. He's in the first grade. I don't really know what he thinks the relationship is going to be. Like, I don't know if he thinks we're getting married or if I'm just going to be his teacher who lives at his house now. You know? Like the mind of a child. What wonder it holds. On the other hand, he is trying to provide for me more than any man I've ever dated. So that's kind of cool. It's interesting. He's been telling me all sorts of stuff. You know, he He also has a better sense of time than any man I've ever dated. For example, he's been like, look, I know I told you this would happen by my birthday. It might not be until I'm 12, which is twice as old as he is right now. Little dude's got a 6-year plan. Tough to find. That's pretty cool. He also has been doing this thing. So I'm an art teacher, so every time I like make a drawing or a painting to show the kids what we're doing that day, he goes, wow, that's really good. We're gonna hang it up in the house. I'm like, stop it. Leave me alone. I'm at work. You can't do this here. You do really have to stop though. You have to stop. It's been great. You know, he's been telling me it's gonna be a fancy house. He's also been telling me it's gonna be a series of tunnels underneath the school. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I've been Elizabeth Norman. Thank you guys so much.